Hello, listener. Producer Maze here to talk to you about Lola blankets. Now, stop me if you've heard this before. Size doesn't matter. Do you believe that? Well, I can tell you that when it comes to blankets, size does matter. And Lola blankets have the biggest blankets on the internet. It's not just huge, it's so soft and luxurious. It is the ultimate blanket to get cozy in. And look at that. It's cozy season, folks. I love my Lola blanket. When we have people over, I let them get a taste, but then I'm taking that blanket back for myself because I want to be the most cozy. Lola blankets are crafted with ultra soft, luxury vegan faux fur and a signature 4-way stretch that sets it apart. It's machine washable, it's double hemmed for durability, and stays flawless. No pilling, no shedding, even after repeated washes. And during the holidays, it can be the ultimate present. If you really want to surprise somebody, get that oh wow reaction, wait till they pull the biggest blanket on the internet out of a box. So give the gift of softness this holiday with Lola blankets. For a limited time, our listeners are getting a huge 40% off their entire order at lolablankets.com by using code DINGS, D-I-N-G-S, at checkout. Just head to lolablankets.com and use code DINGS for 40% off. After you purchase, they will ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them Cinephobe sent you. Hello, listener. It's Producer Maze here to talk to you about Ridge wallets. Let me guess. Right now in your pocket is a bulky piece of leather with a bunch of stuff that you don't need anymore, like random business cards, maybe some receipts. If this were the 90s, you'd have a accordion fold-out photo sleeve of your family and your wife and that last vacation you took. Well, it's not the 90s anymore, and that's why it's time to update your wallet to a unique, slim, modern design that holds up to 12 cards plus cash. The Ridge Wallet, made with premium materials like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber, over 50 plus colors and styles to choose from. And if you're like me, you misplaced your wallet, but with the Ridge AirTag attachment, you'll always know exactly where it is. And no matter what you pick, Ridge has free shipping, a 99-day risk-free trial, and a lifetime warranty on all their products. This is literally the last wallet you'll ever have to buy. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off at Ridge by using code Cinephobe at checkout. Just head to ridge.com and use code Cinephobe, and you're all set. After your purchase, they will ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them Cinephobe sent you.
All right, remember, the machine knows if you're lying. First statement, Carvana will give you a real offer on your car all online.
False.
True, actually. You can sell your car in minutes.
False? That's gotta be...
True again. Carvana will pick up your car from your door, or you can drop it off at one of their car vending machines.
Sounds too good to be true, so... True!
Finally caught on. Nice job. Honesty isn't just their policy, it's their entire model. Sell your car today, too.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. This Monday night, witness the end of an era. John Cena takes center stage for his final appearance ever on Monday Night Raw. One last match, one unforgettable farewell. Come celebrate the legacy of a true WWE legend. Monday Night Raw, November 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, only on Netflix. Be there for the moment everyone will be talking about.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kan du norsk?
If you used Babbel, you would. Babbel's conversation-based techniques teaches you useful words and phrases to get you speaking quickly about the things you actually talk about in the real world, with lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts and voiced by real native speakers. Babbel is like having a private tutor in your pocket. Start speaking with Babbel today. Get up to 55% off your Babbel subscription right now at babbel.com/Spotify. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Hey, Maze, welcome back, buddy. You look great. Refreshed?
Bonjour. Comment ça va?
What's Rudy Gobert doing here?
Quoi?
Quoi?
Rudy is not here.
So he's just going to have an accent for the rest of the episode? What's happening here?
Yeah, wow. Wow, so you go to Paris for what, 1 week on your honeymoon, and you come back and you lost your American accent. It's gone.
I've heard of this. It's le jet lag.
Damn.
Mon accent.
Mon
Perhaps c'est le jet lag. Maybe next week.
Wow.
Have you been keeping track with everything that's been happening in the NBA while you were gone?
No.
I feel like, we just have to keep giving him NBA news and he'll slowly lose his Frenchness.
Okay.
This is possible. But has something happened?
Well, the big news is that Nico Harrison got fired, GM of the Dallas Mavericks.
Quoi? Vraiment?
No. Yes, vraiment.
He is fired.
He's fired.
Le Nico.
C'est pas vrai. No.
Oh, c'est chouette. This is cool. This is cool. I like this.
What else we got?
You got more?
New All-Star format. We got a new All-Star format. It's going to be 3 teams of 8.
Oui. Les États-Unis, les Américains, les internationaux et les Français, oui. The French?
Oh, yeah, a French team by itself? No, it's just one international team.
C'est Victor et Rudy et Nicolas.
The Pistons are really good. One of the best teams in the league right now.
How? How is this?
They're actually number 1 in the Eastern Conference, the Detroit Pistons.
I think we broke up a little bit there. He said, how? He said, how?
What are you talking about? Is it Detroit?
Detroit
is number 1.
Detroit.
How long was I gone?
Here's another thing. The Miami Heat have one of the best offenses in the league.
What?
Yeah, they beat the Blazers in the last second. Also a great offense.
Well, that's another thing that happened. The Thunder are amazing.
This I know.
They only have 1 loss. It was to the Blazers.
Yeah.
Oh.
They lost to the Blazers.
To the Blazer?
With Shai Gilgeous-Alexander playing. Yeah.
The Blazer? They fired their coach?
No, he didn't get fired. He just didn't say certain things.
Thiago Splitter, he won the whole French Basketball League. Remember Thiago?
Oh oui, je le connais. Splitter.
Yeah, he took over.
Oh, c'est très bien.
Ryan Rupert, also French.
Rupert?
Rups?
C'est super, Rupert.
Yeah.
You're French. You like French players like Bilal Koulibaly and Alex Sarr.
Oh, Bilal.
The Wizards still suck.
Oh, d'accord.
They still suck.
Il n'y a pas assez de magique avec les Wizards.
I thought Wizards talk would get him to turn straight American, just like, oh,
No.
can't do it.
We got to give him something else.
Josh Giddey really hurt his ankle after getting crossed over by DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, he got crossed up so hard. He's actually hurt.
Oh, he dropped him. Is there a doctor in the house?
You know what? I saw that highlight, and I'm back, baby. Duke Tango brought me back.
Oh, baby!
My assignment. Uncover why the association inspires more conspiracy theories in volume and salience than any other U.S. sport.
You've heard of the Illuminati.
The truth is out there, but so are lies.
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
The NBA has always been controlled by about 8 people.
Denial is the most predictable of all human responses.
If you're only using 10% of your brain, you don't even know that you're using 10% of your brain.
The NBA Illuminati.
If coincidences are just coincidences, why do they feel so contrived?
The Illuminati.
But you start to follow the money, and you don't know where the f*** it's going to take you.
It is unspoken. They have influence among other players.
The NBA Illuminati.
I don't have time for your convenient ignorance.
Maybe I'm a conspiracist now as well.
That's all it took. Oh, we got books, we got schools. You saw a video on YouTube.
My eyes, sir. You've never used them before.
We are the Basketball Illuminati.
This is Basketball Illuminati. I am Tom Haberstroh, and as always, we are joined by the 5-star Illuminati generals, Amin Elhassan, and our American super producer, Anthony Mays.
Members of the Illumination can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/countthedings. You can also show your support by wearing a Third Eye hat or a Basketball Illuminati shirt or hoodie. Check out the link in the show notes or go to the Count the Dings store on Cotton Bureau and keep that third eye open.
Also joining us after a hiatus, thanks for hanging with us last week as we are indeed our episode with Chad. How do you guys think it went? Okay?
It went pretty well. He came up with a better script afterward. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Next time.
If you haven't listened to that, go check it out. We're going to actually talk to Jason Gallagher, our chief Nico Harrison correspondent. Also the executive producer extraordinaire for Mind the Game, 342 Productions.
I love how this massive stuff he works on is completely secondary. Like, we don't care, Jason, about who LeBron and Steve Nash are talking about. We care about you telling us about Nico Harrison getting fired. That's all he's here for.
He's going to join us in a little bit, but first...
Agenda with Amin Elhassan and Tom Haberstroh.
Man, I really goofed. I put the Golden State Warriors as a 5-star title contender at TomTheFinder.com before the season. I had them with Denver and Oklahoma City, and they're 6-6. And it seems like a mutiny is underway here in Golden State after another road loss. That was a really dumb call by me. I kind of felt like the Jonathan Kuminga thing was settled. It was done. And here's Al Horford. It's all good.
Here's the thing. You lost to Oklahoma City. There's no shame in that. But I think it's the way they lost. They got their ass beat.
Hey, they got their ass beat by the Blazers too. I'm just going to let you know.
And they lost to the Pacers. The Pacers' only win this year is against the Warriors.
Full squad, too.
This team is not a regular season team. They're 8 million years old combined. You can't be a regular season team. But at the same time, the regular season is important because being good in the regular season means you don't have to see that in a 7-game series to start your playoffs. So there's a part of me that's like, I get it, but then there's another part that's like, man, you got some splaining to do.
What do you think is the biggest difference between the way you ended last season once Jimmy got here and what's going on right now?
I think everybody was committed to winning and doing that any way possible. And right now, it doesn't feel that way.
I mean, is it personal agenda type stuff or like, I guess how would you kind of...
I think everyone has a personal agenda in this league, but you have to make those personal agenda work in the team confines. And if it doesn't work, then you kind of got to get rid of your agenda. Or eventually the agenda is the cause of someone getting rid of you. And so, I think you don't want a team with no personal agendas because a goal is an agenda, And so you got to have some type of personal agenda. But like I said, you got your personal agenda must fit into the confines of the team.
Our good friend Anthony Slater of ESPN now saying that basically they were talking about not Jonathan Kuminga as many people guessed. They were talking about Brandon Podziemski.
This is wild. It came across my timeline because KOC tweeted about it. This is nuts that this is a real storyline that Podziemski had said in an interview previously.
Do you want to be as great as Steph Curry? I mean, I want to be better than him. Obviously, it's a tall task, but I want to maximize my talent in the league and get as much out of it as I can.
And apparently internally that did not sit well with some people in the organization. It wasn't clear if it was locker room, players, coaches, or front office, but they're kind of agitated about his comment regarding Steph. And I'm like, every player in the league has the confidence that they can be the greatest of all time.
I've told this story before. Aaron Aflalo, in his pre-draft interview, we asked him, who in the league do you kind of see yourself having a career like? It's nice to have someone so you can try and model your game after that and stuff. And he said, Kobe Bryant. Obviously, you learn from the best, but realistically speaking, who in the league do you see, I can play like that guy? And Aaron Aflalo was like, Kobe Bryant. And that's when we were like, yeah, we can't draft him.
Yeah. Because
the dude has no idea. Yes, there is a fair amount of delusion in every NBA player. That's how you get here. But you have to have some level of reality to you. Because if you think you're going to be Kobe Bryant, and what we told him was like, actually, we see you kind of like as a bigger, better Raja Bell. You're bigger than him. You're more athletic than Raja. In theory, you could be a better, more versatile defender in that way. You're a better offensive player. Raja was a catch and shoot. You could put it on the floor. As we're talking to him, we realized that we basically told him, hey, man, you could clean our toilets for us too. Just use a toothbrush. He was so offended, but it's because he didn't have any concept of who he was. And so I hear Brandon Podziemski say that, and I don't know if I would have been offended if I were the Warriors.
No.
But also, I would have been like, bro, do you not know what your career is? Because you can't compare yourself to a Hall of Famer. That's insane.
I want to float an idea that it's not Brandon Podziemski and it's not Jonathan Kuminga. It's not all these personal agendas that Draymond Green was referring to. I think they just got boned by the schedule. They got to have a tough schedule. They're old. They're cranky. They don't like traveling. much like me, after too much time on the road, not getting good sleep, you might be a little sick like Steph Curry, and these things add up. So Joey Akeley of Sports Illustrated compared every NBA team schedule from opening night to November 19th next week, which is the end of Golden State's current 6-game and 9-day road trip. And the Warriors lead the league in total games with 17. Only 3 teams have more than 15. The Rockets have 13. The Warriors lead the league in road games with 12. Only 4 other teams have more than 8. Toronto is second with 10. And the Warriors lead the league in back-to-backs with 5. No other team has more than 3. The Rockets have 0.
Yeah.
So, sucks, but should be easier after November 19th.
Well, Amin said it earlier. This team's built for the playoffs, but the regular season's 82 games. So this is really difficult for an older team with Al Horford, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, and Steph Curry to go through this type of schedule, which really saying is a great philosopher once said, the road is fucking hard. The road is fucking tough. There's no question that it's rough stuff. Tenacious D. You might have actually seen some of their work in the Louvre while you're over there.
Yeah, I did see the Tenacious D wing. It was majestic.
Oh, yeah. I bet it was. The Pick of Destiny wing. The road is tough. And that's the thing about having a team that's built around those guys is they got to endure the schedule and all the back-to-backs. And I don't know. There's a lot of agenda talk over there. Does Draymond Green have an agenda? Is he pointing fingers at everybody without looking at himself? I don't know.
I think his agenda is to point out everybody else's agenda.
Inception agenda. His agenda is everyone else's agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Tom, as a master of studying NBA rest, how does a schedule not like this happen? Is it all random? Is it just Chad down at the league office?
Chad. Yep.
Trying to make everything work and producing a month of NBA basketball that is disproportionately way more stressful?
Well, Steve Kerr's talked about this before. There's a couple variables that the Warriors have to play against. One is their West Coast team that's far away from Miami. So just by virtue of being on the coasts, you're going to travel more. Secondly, what I think Kerr really harps about is that they have so many national TV games, 34 national TV games. And other teams like the Washington Wizards don't have to worry about making sure they're on these particular days, national TV games, with rest on either side. The third thing is the NBA schedule national TV games have to have rest, and most national TV games are on the second half of the schedule. So because the NBA is competing against the NFL in the first couple months of the season, they're not on national TV as much. And so this is when the Warriors have to play a crazy amount of games on back-to-backs and have all this travel, is because they have to make these national TV games in the second half of the year have rest on both ends of that game. Inevitably, that matrix is going to front load a lot of back-to-backs. And that just stinks. Blazers and the Heat, Orlando, they always have the most miles traveled every year because they're in polar opposites of the continental United States. It's one of the reasons why I think like Mexico City as a team, I don't think it's going to get off the ground, is because the altitude and the travel will just be too ridiculous to have that built into an 82 game schedule. I think everyone in Golden State would like to wave a magic wand and just get to April already, but that's what sucks. They can't.
I think they just want to get to November 19th. That's when their incredibly clusterfucked portion of the schedule is done. We'll see how those personal agendas play out after that point.
Well, there is a personal agenda that I think we're going to have to talk about, which is Nico Harrison and Anthony Davis and playing him through injury or trying to get him to play through injury. We're going to talk about it with Jason Gallagher of 342 Productions coming up right now after the break.
Hello, listener. It's Producer Maze here to talk to you about Chime. You know what really drives me nuts? Fees. Overdraft fees. ATM fees. Ugh. Fees for this. Fees for that. And that's what I love about Chime, because they understand that every dollar counts. And when you set up direct deposit through Chime, you get access to fee-free features like free overdraft coverage and getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Chime is banking done right. No monthly fees, no maintenance fees on your checking account, and you're eligible for free overdraft up to $200 on debit card purchases and cash withdrawals. Not to mention access to over 47,000 fee-free ATMs which is more than the top 3 national banks combined. Think about all the money that you've lost on ticky-tack fees that you could have saved with Chime. So work on your financial goals through Chime today. Open an account in 2 minutes at chime.com/basketball. That's chime.com/basketball. Chime. Feels like progress.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
All your favorite NBA players are back. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. New customers bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Plus, score $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THIRDEYE. That's code THIRDEYE, all one word. THIRDEYE. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Listener, listen up. This is important, okay? I'm going to try to save you some money here. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. You may think like, oh, that's bad. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. Here's why I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for $15 a month. You heard that correctly. $15 per month. Ditch overpriced wireless and the jaw-dropping monthly bills. And of course, there are all these hidden fees and stuff, but at Mint Mobile, plans start at $15 per month. All the plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text. You're not doing like weekend and nighttime minutes or anything like that. And it's delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone. Don't have to get a new phone. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. I switched months ago. People have asked, did you actually switch? Yes, I actually switched months ago, and I don't know what to do with all this extra money. I've cheated the system here. I've rigged something. This is an Ocean's 11 situation where I'm stealing wireless from Mint. That's how good a deal it is. Ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/dings. That's DINGS. That's mintmobile.com/dings. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 per month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Listeners, hair loss isn't just about hair. It's about how you feel when you look in the mirror. 90% of feeling good is looking good. I don't know if that's actual science, but it sounds right. You know, you want that confidence, and sometimes a little hair loss going to take away from that confidence, whether it's thinning up top or falling out completely. Well, thanks to Hims, they help you take back that confidence with access to simple, personalized care that fits your life. So, how do you do it? You go to Hims. They offer convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments. So you could do a chew, a serum, a spray, oral medication, whatever you want to do. They've got it for you in however you prefer to take that medication, take that treatment. Boom. Hims has it. They're doctor trusted, clinically proven. The ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil, they can stop further hair loss and regrow hair in as little to 3 to 6 months, a quarter of a year to half a year. That's it. That's all it takes. What are you doing? Why haven't you gotten on this already? Thankfully, Hims is here for you no matter when you decide to do it. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. And there's no hidden fees, no surprise costs. It's just personalized care. It's real and it's on your schedule. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/basketball. That's hims.com/basketball for your free online visit. hims.com/basketball. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Hello, listener. Producer Mays here to talk to you about Quince cookware, because during the holidays, the kitchen becomes the heart of it all. Slow cooking, comfort food, family meals. And that's when you want cookware that works hard, looks good, and is worthy of gifting. And that's where Quince delivers with quality you can count on and prices that make holiday gift giving easy. Anything you could think of, they've got you covered. Stainless steel and ceramic nonstick pots and pans, cast iron Dutch oven, sharp chef's knives. Maybe you get that for your uncle, maybe you get that for yourself, little kitchen upgrade while you're busy getting stuff for everybody else. And when it's time to host, Quince's glassware, silverware, and linen napkins bring warmth and style to the table. And when you look at these prices, you might think, how is Quince doing this? How do they deliver high quality items similar to high-end brands that are half the price? Well, let me tell you, they partner directly with ethical top-tier factories to cut out the middlemen and pass the savings on to you. If you know me, you know I abstain from the traditional turkey dinner on Thanksgiving. I like to roast some beef. My go-to lately has been a whole picanha, that's a petite sirloin. For the uninitiated, do a little reverse sear and then finish it off in my stainless steel Quince saucepan. So cook, gather, and give better gifts this season with Quince. Go to quince.com/dings for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/dings, DINGS, to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dings.
You all think I'm late. Well, I'm not late. And I'm going to stay right here and fight for this lost cause, even if this room gets filled with lies like these. And the tailors and all their armies come marching into this place. Somebody will listen to me.
There's no better way to overpower a trickle of doubt than with a flood of naked truth.
But the complexity and the gray lie not in the truth, but what you do with the truth once you have it.
What is true and right is true and right for all.
You and I both know that that's just not the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Too messy. Keeps them up nights.
I'm here because in the end, the truth is worth the risk.
Speak a little truth and people lose their minds.
I'm a grown man. You can tell me the truth.
Why is it people who want the truth never believe it when they hear it?
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something really outrageous. I'm going to tell the truth.
We are not live right now, live, but were you live when you were on local TV, Jason?
I was not live, but I done a pre-recording thing earlier that day, almost immediately.
So what happened there?
Hold on. Before we get to that, I just want to note that Jason Gallagher, the general manager of a team, gets fired and people are rushing to you for comment, not because you're the successful producer of these great basketball podcasts. No, because you have become the face of the movement of this general manager getting fired.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in this, by the way. Not because of necessarily the angle that Amin posted or is talking about, in which I wanted a man to be fired. Of course, I kind of did, but it really was about a fan base, a culture that I think in a lot of ways has informed my life, a career, personality, and I felt really strongly about this internal existential battle between like these crazy capitalist owners coming in and trying to run it like it was any other business, like it doesn't have a heart and soul. And the consumers do have a heart and soul. And I'm glad that they, at the very least, have acknowledged that that is a real thing, that fans and their opinions, their voices, they do matter.
What does the feeling feel like? Like, is it joy? Is it barren? Is it like the depths? It's just Like you don't feel anything for the Mavericks anymore because you have changed allegiances to your hometown right now of Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Which would be confusing because the Lakers are in town tonight, and I kind of going for the Lakers on that one. So I'll always be like, supportive of JJ before anything else. But the feeling is happiness. I'll be dead serious. Like I think we all know people within organizations or whatever, and the people that would message me often were just people that were within the organization or were in the organization, and they were just also miserable. Like the last message I got from someone was like, "I just want to have fun at work again." Like everybody was miserable. The fans, the employees, the players were getting it. PJ Washington's at the free throw line for a very important moment, and the entire crowd is chanting "Fire Nico." I mean, this is in a lot of ways, to me, it's just honestly a sense of relief, happiness, happy for the people that work there, my friends and that are cheering for the team, happy that they can watch this thing with a blank slate a little bit,
Jason, I was under the impression that this was kind of like a refugee status for you as a Thunder fan, and that if Dallas did certain things, you were ready to go back. Are you saying you're never going to be a Mavericks fan again?
I think the truth of it, honestly, is that I'm a little bit more agnostic than I once was about fandom and everything like that. I think on the one hand, my son's a massive Thunder fan now, and there's no rolling that back. The people with the organization are super, super nice to me. And then I have a lot of relationships on other teams too so I think it's more about cheering for certain individuals in certain situations. Now the Mavericks do fall into the camp of a team that I would like to see succeed. So, there's only a small handful of teams where I have a vested interest and will be watching and being like, hope to make it far. But if it's like Mavs Thunder playoff series, it's going to be completely roster dependent. It's going to,
Really?
That's how it's going to be for me. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Nico side of it, the Mavs fans can move on that, but there's still the owner and Patrick Dumont,
and it's still Luka's not there. Like nothing is going to bring him back.
Yeah, the ownership still really sucks, and that is something that we're not going to get away from. But that's not a unique situation to Dallas.
Right.
Any Dallas fan that's like, now let's get Dumont, and I'm like, go ask the Knicks fans if you can go get the owner. Like you can't. It's you take the wins that you can get, and then you just deal with the rest. And I don't think the Adelsons and Dumont are going anywhere. So,
do you have a sense why now? Like, was it the Fire Nico chance? Was it the attendance numbers that finally they slipped below sellout? Which it's hard in the NBA to not technically sell out because they have so many accounting gymnastics where they're counting all sorts of stuff just so they can have the headline that they sold out. Why do you think now?
I think combination of the bad record and Luka just going off. I think it's those two things. Coming into the season, even though there were a handful of NBA analysts nationwide that were picking the Mavericks to go all the way, I just could not see that because the hurdles, there were too many hurdles. Like too many things had to go right. It was like one, Anthony Davis would have to be healthy all season, which he's done before, but that is one hurdle. Two, nobody, regresses. And with a team that's a little bit older, I thought, hey, Klay Thompson's kind of primed for a guy to kind of take a step back if he's not getting the shots, handed to him the way that Luka was doing. Then you had this, Kyrie's got to come back from injury quicker than expected and be more effective than he was before he was injured. And then the fourth one, which is probably the most important one, which is probably something that Dumont didn't quite realize was necessary, which is that Cooper Flagg had to be the greatest rookie of all time. Literally, he had to have the greatest rookie season for them to be a championship caliber team. And he performed like an exceptional rookie, and it still wasn't even close to good enough, And I think that's when possibly it just settled in on the ownership that oh shoot, we're not winning anytime soon.
Can I propose a third eye open alternate reason for why it happened this week? He talked to a young fan in a Lakers jersey, and I think that guy made some compelling points. And I don't think that Patrick Dumont is that plugged in to his team necessarily.
You think the kid
second game attended of the year? And he's like, "Whoa, wow, we lost again? Oh,
yeah."
And this guy in the Lakers jersey, this Luka jersey, he's making some points. I like this. He was so susceptible to Nico's comments and position earlier. Now he just had a different voice. Maybe that guy's your new GM.
Maze, I'm gonna tell you the part that no one has talked about. That kid got up, like he went over there under the auspices that he wanted to apologize for giving the double birds to Patrick Dumont. The kid said what he had to say, got up, went into the tunnel, pulled off his Mission Impossible mask, and it was Jason Gallagher all along.
Wow!
That's right. That's right. I turned into how old is that kid?
18 or something.
I would just be permanently that kid forever if I could. No,
can I keep the mask?
I've never seen something so ridiculous in my entire life. What a thing! What an image to be there to and then that when I saw that I was like, oh, he'll be fired in the next 24 hours.
Well, because McMahon and Stein had already said like the relationship has disintegrated. Now we get the reporting that apparently Dumont had met with Mark Cuban and who else was the other person that he met with, and they basically talked about all of this, and that led to the Rick Welch. Rick Welch was the other person. Who, by the way, Rick Welch, man, that guy never ages. It's incredible. I want to.
Why is he here? Anyways, that's a whole.
Rick Welch? Hey, man, no, that's my guy. Hold on, pump your brake, kids. That's a national treasure.
He is a national treasure. Why would he do this to himself? That's it.
Oh, Rick? Well, I think Rick's sick. I think he just he can't stay away from the. It's like his third retirement. He's retired like 3 times. Like he's like Michael Jordan at this point. But I did want to read to you an excerpt from a Substack written by Jeremiah Engelman. Used to work for the Mavericks. I worked with him actually in Phoenix years and years and years ago. And he said the day after the Mavs lost the final game to the Warriors in the 22 Western Conference Finals, I met with Nico to formally quit my position with the Mavs and to have an exit interview. There, I warned Nico about some of the developments I had witnessed during his first year in office. In particular, that he did not have a good grasp of who he should trust and who, among those under him, were simply kissing ass. Nico had drowned out many of the voices who could provide perspective, including those of the department where I was an analyst. Instead of being willing to hear critical input, Nico had empowered people who had little basketball knowledge. And these tended to be people, such as attorneys, who had worked their way up the ladder, thanks to Nico himself. These people stroked Nico's ego at every turn. I know you're plugged in over there. You've got friends who work over there. Does that pretty much track with what you know of what's happening behind the scenes? And how do you feel hearing that?
Yeah, it's so strange, man. I have so many feelings about that, but that does track with what I've heard, which is essentially that anybody who had a single iota of disagreement with him was essentially either ignored or made to feel like they shouldn't be there, and that kind of includes Luka Doncic, which is sort of a really underrated piece of all of this. Like I listened to some of the dissenting arguments about this whole thing. Chuck Klosterman was on Bill Simmons' podcast, and he laid out like this idea that like, hey, it wasn't as crazy in the moment as it could have been if he'd have messaged it right. But it really, the part that he really ignores is how much Nico and Luka just did not get along. And so that when that sort of stems the point of view that, oh, I got to get rid of this guy, then it becomes a very like narcissistic point of view and pettiness, and it's driving, it's ignoring all logical steps that need to be taken before you trade a franchise guy like Luka. And yeah, I don't know. Nico's world, when I think about what his worldview is, what his philosophy is on team building, it is who are my friends, who's in my Rolodex. Like a fascinating thing to do is to just go deep on Nico's Instagram, because what was interesting when he was GM, he said it to private after he got rid of Luka, but then he went to public, and it was like it said general manager of the Dallas Mavericks. There wasn't a single photo in Dallas at the game, at the arena. There were multiple photos recent of him at like the Pittsburgh Steelers Steelers training camp. But then if you scroll way down, there's a lot of him and Anthony Davis. Like they're boys. They're just boys. They challenged each other to the ice bucket challenge. Like they
oh shit.
They're friends. Yeah.
From a long time ago. That's ice bucket challenge. That's 2010, 11.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of photos from him traveling with them and everything like that. And so I think what's an underrated piece of all of this that is not even I've not seen it written really because I think it'd be tricky, but like the Mavericks, you all remember the Mavericks were like one of the first real teams to be this international embrace international basketball. It was a point of pride. It was a point of pride as a Dallas fan was that you could look at our roster. We had guys from all over the world and it was so cool. And it's so funny that in 2025, that grand scope of prospect turned into a guy's like Rolodex basically. And we became like a very narrow, sort of basketball outlook in terms of our roster. So anyway, he's just a strange guy. And I think what's even worse about everything you said there is that included training staff. Obviously the Casey Smith stuff out there. And then after the trade, it was maybe even worse. The mandates that they put on their social team, any sort of comms person, it was an impossible task they were given.
To be fair, comms and social and all the outward facing thing, this is the part where the job isn't easy or fun, right? Because you have to basically defend and put a positive spin on things that the front office has done or decisions that have been made. But I like the idea, and it shouldn't shock me because, the irony is I told you I work with Jeremiah's and we worked in the front office that was kind of like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like they didn't want dissenting opinion. Like, what do you mean? Like my whole thing was like, I tried to explain this to them. Like, that's what I'm getting paid to do, man. Like my job is like anyone could be like, yeah, it sounds good, boss. Like my job is to figure out what's wrong with your idea so that if you want to make that decision, at least you do it with the full knowledge of the perils and pitfalls attributed to that. And to kind of reject that is insane. But like the thing I don't understand, if you tell me my general manager is hell bent on trading Luka, I would disagree, but I'm like, there's a way to do it. Yeah. There's a way to do that, right?
Which gets back to his Rolodex idea. Is like he got his boy on the phone, Rob Pelinka, and just said, let's do this quietly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that one of the things. Yeah, I think it was Ryan Russillo who had said this on one of his shows, where he was just like, the Mavs could win a championship next year. It will be the worst trade of all time. Still, like, there's not really much that could reverse it because the Cooper Flag thing is obviously, unless you are a basketball Illuminati person, that is completely separate from the trade. And so when you just look at the asset that you have, the value of the asset, and then the return that you got, it's awful. It's terrible. And, I tell people, imagine Cooper Flag with Giannis, because that could have been in play. Like, it's just such an awful executed, like, again, want to get out of the Luka business, there's a way to do it. That was not it.
Like, why in the world would you not turn into the greatest auctioneer of all time and go, four first, two spots, right, three shots, four first, like,
because you won Anthony Davis.
And that's
nothing's going to top AD.
Because you traded for Kyrie, who's your Nike boy, and it worked out great, even though everybody doubted you there. Now you can put Kyrie and AD together? Oh, my God.
Honestly, Maze, that's exactly the thing. It's like,
just do it.
It's because you did it and it worked.
Yeah.
And now you're like, you can't fucking tell me nothing because everyone said it wouldn't work. And guess what? I'm the smartest guy in the room. It's the most dangerous thing is when you make a move and it affirms your weird ass method of operation.
And your boss, your owner, is like, oh my God,
doesn't know shit.
A genius.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't know shit.
Give him the keys. Get Mark Cuban out of here.
The irony of it all was that I think that's always sort of been Mark Cuban's team building philosophy. What you're alluding to, I mean, where it's like there are certain people in positions of power that prefer to have the to build a team in such a way that the credit will go directly to them. And Mark was one of those people for sure. I mean, has anybody gone for it in free agency more than Mark Cuban in the last 20 years? I don't think so. Like really gone for it, publicly gone for it. And he fell short like a decade straight, unless you consider the Chandler Parsons thing a success. But he went for it he went for it year after year after year after year. And then, so what is it in free agency? And that's how he wanted to build a team. So wouldn't it make sense that he then goes out with a guy who's perceived to be like a cool guy, connected guy, or whatever? It was all motivated by this one idea of like people in power wanting to have the credit for the success of their franchise.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Hey, gang. Seasons are changing. Days are getting shorter, at least in terms of sunlight, and it actually can have a big effect on people. It's interesting, the biological science that goes behind not having as much sunlight interaction with your body. And so this November, BetterHelp is encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with their loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. But it doesn't end there. Reaching out for therapy can feel a little difficult too. But let me tell you, it is completely worth it. And it almost always leaves people wondering, why didn't I do this sooner? This is what I felt. I'm in therapy with BetterHelp, so not just saying, hey, this is a sponsor. I legitimately have used it for years, because one of the biggest messages someone gave to me a long time ago was, I was like, I don't really think I need therapy. I feel like I know what my issues are. And then they said, great, what are you going to do about those issues? It sounds so dumb, but I had never considered that point before. Let's say I'm right and I know 100% of what the issues are. You still got to do something about it. Then I connected with a therapist through BetterHelp, and it has helped me immensely. BetterHelp therapists work according to strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on the therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences. And 12 plus years of experience with BetterHelp and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means they typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recommendations. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is one of the largest online therapy platforms, having served over 5 million people globally. This month, don't wait to reach out, whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself. BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/cinephobe. That's betterhelp.com/cinephobe.
Once upon a mundane morning, Barb's day got busy without warning. A realtor in need of an open house sign. No, 50 of them, and designed before 9.
My head hurts.
Any mighty tools to help with this plight?
Aha!
Barb made her move. She opened Canva and got in the groove.
Bulk creating Canva sheets. Create 50 signs fit for suburban streets.
Done in a click, all complete.
Sweet!
Now, imagine what your dreams can become when you put imagination to work at canva.com.
There's a really interesting report here from The Athletic. Sam Amick and others are reporting in their kind of TikTok of how this all went down. They wrote, Monday's loss to the Bucks marks the 6th straight game Davis has missed with a left calf strain. Multiple league sources said Davis had tried to convince the Mavs to let him return to the court, and Harrison urged him to return, but the team's medical staff forbade it, citing the potential for a torn Achilles if Davis returned too soon. We talk about narcissism. Nate Duncan retweeting this and saying, the report in of itself, to me, is a fireable offense for Nico. Amazingly selfish. Let's also remember that when Kyrie Irving had to play without AD, he had a super high minutes per game workload leading up to his torn Achilles, and then, torn ACL, excuse me. And there was a whole controversy about that too, that Jason Kidd had to say, something about how he stepped on someone else's foot, whatever. Point being, they ostracized Luka Doncic's and fired Luka Doncic's people, medical staff, and then they went with a medical team that won't even okay you forcing Anthony Davis to play or encouraging Anthony Davis to play against the prevailing medical opinion. And it's why would the GM do that? Well, it's because I think he desperately needs this AD trade to look good for him.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, the sense of desperation was So when you asked me earlier, like, how do you feel? Like, I'm happy for Mavs fans, and people think Mavs fans are like insane about this, and we probably are. But there was a real potential that his desperation would further bury the prime of Cooper Flagg. And that was that's like a real concern given all of the things that you're talking about, Tom. There was that report, that Sam Amick report is like an embodiment, an encapsulation of the greatest fear that Mavs fans had, which was, what's he going to do to this roster to ensure that he succeeds in this guaranteed 3-year window? Is he going to further? I mean, after this year, they don't have a draft pick until 2031, I believe. Is he going to further punt draft picks and so that's the part where everyone was like, okay, Cooper Flagg is the lifeline. You have got to reset around him, his growth, his potential, his prime. And you cannot just be grasping at straws. I mean, just especially in 2025. I mean, you don't even have to be a basketball expert. You could be casually watching basketball and understand the seriousness of playing through an injury like that and what has happened to other great players when they tried that. Just crazy. And the Kyrie thing is real too. A lot of people say we didn't get to see his vision. And it's like, well, Kyrie Irving was already kind of, getting up there in age. And when Luka left, he had to take on more. And that was a concern of Mavs fans even prior to Luka getting traded, was, can Kyrie actually stay healthy this spring? Because he was dealing with back stuff, all this other stuff. So it was all, I don't care what anybody said. It is the most predictable thing. What happened is actually the most predictable thing.
Tom, I need to read that Jason Kidd quote from March after Kyrie tore his ACL. Jason Kidd said, "We're talking about one play, not many before that. It's a freak accident. That's how it should be reported. We're reporting on conspiracy theories. We want our stars to play. This isn't supposed to be a rest league."
Oh, God. By the way, we need to get rid of DNP rest. I know I probably am responsible for a lot of this bullshit.
Yeah,
but
it's all your fault. Yeah.
The rest, we need to call it recovery. We can't call it rest anymore. It needs a rebrand.
Let me take it a step further. And apologies, Jason, because this is going to stray a little bit from the Mavericks as a topic. But you can't have someone who's DNP rest who goes to see Louisville, Kentucky, even though the team's in Miami. Like Donovan Mitchell going to the Louisville game.
That's true.
And being written off as DNP rest for tonight's game in advance is fucking insane. We're trying to convince people, hey, this shit is real. We're serious. It's been a great start to the season. It's such an awful look.
Yeah.
To be not only am I not playing, but you know what? I'm going to add some travel.
Yeah.
You guys had us in Miami for 4 days? No. Let me throw some travel in between so I can go to this game.
I apologize for not knowing the Louisville. I should know this. Was he his jersey retired or something? That's why he went?
No, he just
wanted to be courtside?
Yeah, but team playing, man. He had a night off. Exactly. He had a night off. I ain't got shit to do tomorrow.
Schedule's open.
Wow. Jason, what now?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is
who do you want
LeBron's
to be the new
co-host
GM?
Steve Nash going to take over as a GM and head coach for the Mavs?
I honestly have no idea. I think the likeliest scenario is probably something not great. They have co-GMs, the Finley, and then I forget his name,
Matt Riccardi.
Yeah, and but how much were they a part of this plan is still pretty TBD. I've heard just from my people that Finley was pissed about it, pissed about the trade, and I know the beer thing, the video of him grabbing the beer from Luka has made him some sort of a bullseye for Mavs fans. But everything I've heard is that Finley was pissed when Luka got traded. I think the worst case scenario is that Kidd gets more power, but I'm afraid that is a really likely scenario. And I also think Mark Cuban's on the table too, as this person who gets a lot of power sort of back. And so again, this is, it's a strange thing. It's what made the communication thing so strange was that this is a team trying to now embrace its past. It's retiring Mark Aguirre's jersey. It's going to the retro logo on the court. They are trying to tap into nostalgia. And what made it so tricky last spring when they were doing the same kind of thing was they were like, oh, the greatness of the Mavericks. And it's like, well, the guy who has most of your records, you literally just traded. Yeah. And so how do you even like touch this topic? That has been the freaking worst thing about these first 10 games is that I've been waiting 20 plus years for that logo to be on that court.
You can't even enjoy it.
I love
Surprise! That. Look what I got you.
And I had to watch D'Angelo friggin' Russell.
Oh man. So to be fair, one of the rumors behind the scenes we heard is that Dennis Lindsay, who was a consultant, is rumored to be the guy who's going to get the job.
I think
because
that's
obviously
best
yeah, that's the best case scenario, right? Like because he's respected. He was in San Antonio. He was in Houston. He's in Utah. He's got a long track record of knowing how to do this job. Which again, like I feel. I get very territorial about this stuff because I think like doing front office work is not like any other job in the NBA. Like people can come in off the street and be a coach and get it pretty quickly, and front office work is not like that at all. So
Why?
Like that. Well, it's because first of all, you're talking about decisions typically that don't bear fruit for quite a while. So it requires a very long-term strategic outlook on things. Whereas coaching is a lot closer to playing. It's like, I make a decision, we're about to find out right now if this worked or not. There's some longer-term things. Like, for instance, having Cooper Flag play point, I don't think he's a point guard, but it's like the idea is like, it's going to help him later in his career to be able to like have better vision and better anticipation of, of collapsing defenses and all that. But for the most part, coaching decisions are like playing decisions. I'm going to do it right now. We're going to figure out if this works or not. Front office work isn't like that, number one. Number two, because it's not like that, there's a lot of things that you have to do that are mundane, very mundane. So I used to, in a weird way, Nico fucking ruined this saying for me because I used to say, look, front office work is about that mundane work. Anyone can say, ooh, LeBron, he's really good. Let's get him. That's the easy part. The hard part is those unknown dudes, those guys in the G League, those guys with your 47th, 48th overall pick, the guy who's you picked up with a biannual exception. Like hitting those hits is way more front office work. Front office work isn't Duke versus North Carolina. It's going to see Iona versus Marist. Because the other shit is no-brainer. Of course, we all know, Anthony Edwards is amazing. No shit, Sherlock.
It's the Maxi Klebas that you got to go find.
Yeah.
Right.
and the irony is Nico ruined that because the biggest no-brainer deal of all time, he was on the wrong end of. But when you lament, Jason, about like D'Angelo Russell, that to me, like that's front office work, right? Because you knew in March or whenever Kyrie tore his ACL, we don't have a point guard for the rest of this year and we don't have a point guard for next year. When he said in April, after getting bounced out in the play-in, we're gonna compete for a championship next year. Yeah. So let's, like you said, a lot of like best case scenario things. No regression, everyone's healthy, But one of those things on the list is also we get a fucking point guard.
Yeah,
we get a point guard, and so you knew July 1, our number one thing is we need a point guard. Or even before that, because the draft and trade season, whatever. But you knew you needed a point guard. And you, even if you're like, I'm hamstrung up, we've got the hard cap at the first apron, all that's well and good. It's like, but it's like, you didn't even go get me a Tyus Jones. You got D'Angelo Russell to play point guard. Do you not know this? Have you not been watching with the rest of us how he's played, particularly when you put him at point? So the idea, these are the things that I'm saying, like, that's front office work. Sure, it's glad handing. Sure, it's cap stuff. Sure, it's managing up and making sure my owner's happy and all that stuff. It's all those things. But man, a lot of it is boring ass shit that nobody really wants to do.
Yeah, that's dead right. Your point on the point guard thing. I mean, being a GM is very tricky, and there's two big sort of red flags that I think led to the position that they're in where they don't have they don't have like a serviceable distributor, right? One is it didn't seem like Nico listened to many folks. And it seemed like he kind of was willy-nilly. And I think I think you can mistake, oh, what an innovator, whatever, to somebody who's just sort of like lazily was like, Cooper Flagg will play point guard. And I think that is, I like, that sounds like something that somebody who wants to sound like they understand the cutting edge of the NBA would say, but it doesn't actually work and function. And then also last year, they found some success with certain guys distributing the ball. But again, this is after injury. This is heading into the playoffs. And these are teams that are not scouting for Najee Marshall to bring the ball up. Now they see what the Mavericks have to offer. And, oh, wow, PJ Washington is not quite as effective as he was when he was a surprise, you know? And I think that's the part that he did not really foresee. They became an incredibly easy team to scout against, like very easy. And that's what you know, when you talk about GMing, like that's the type of thing too, that I think takes a lot of foresight, a lot of thought ahead of time to say, okay, how real is this Najee Marshall thing that he can bring the ball up and distribute the ball? And I think that most people would say, well, if he's the top of the scouting report, probably not the best idea.
Mm-hmm. Hey, do you have any takes on the letter from Patrick Dumont?
No. I mean, it looks like it was written by ChatGPT. They actually hired a comms person the day before. This is how we all knew it was coming. They hired a woman from FC Dallas. Her name is Gina something, and they announced it like the evening before he got fired, and everyone was like, "Well, this woman's about to have the easiest job of." I mean, all she's getting brought in to do is communicate that Nico's fired, and so I imagine she wrote that letter. You know, it did not. I think not mentioning Luka's name is funny, but again,
they couldn't put Luka in it. They could not put Luka in it.
Expectations for Patrick Dumont could not be any lower, and so the fact that he wrote a letter, I'm kind of like, maybe that's a win. Maybe I mean, you know, I don't know. So I think that's the thing that. Again, I'm glad that the Adelson family and Patrick Dumont are understanding that it's not like there are other businesses where, you know, the slot machine's not going to give you any money and then you keep showing up anyways. Like this is one where you actually have to engage in the consumer a little bit.
Yeah, that is kind of heartwarming, though, is the idea that the fans mattered.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, on that note, let me ask you a question because I have this theory that there are times in NBA history where things happen that are, I call it crater events, where it's like you scare them away and they never come back. Right. So Dominique Wilkins getting traded from Atlanta was a crater event. Like I saw the city of Atlanta just basically say, fuck NBA basketball. And to this day, it's never been back. Charlotte was once one of the great NBA markets, a model franchise. But their owner was a piece of shit. The fans hated him. He moves the team to New Orleans. They get the team back. They call it Bobcats and they call it Hornets. But it's like Charlotte no longer gives a shit about NBA basketball. Yeah. They can never win that back. I'm of the belief that part of the reason why they got rid of Nico, beyond like, hey, let's not have him fuck up Cooper Flagg as well, is that's like to let him continue on would have basically created this crater event where it's like they never come back.
There's a real world where that's already happened, but we don't know.
We don't know it yet. We don't know it yet.
Yeah. I was talking to some of the Dallas writers and stuff like that, and we were kind of reaching a threshold where the way that Dallas has handled post Luka trade was as bad as the trade itself, and there is a world where they could have made this trade and. I think that the fans would have at least sort of, they wouldn't have been like this aggressive. I think that just the fact that Dallas handled it so damn poorly, and that includes just by simply sticking by Nico Harrison.
Hold on. You think with the same return on the trade it could have been handled in a way that would have lowered the temperature?
Yeah, for sure. I think you could have fired Nico as soon as Cooper got drafted. And I think you could have. I'm being serious. Then you move on from Anthony Davis, and then you start this team anew. You just start it fresh, and you acknowledge it, and you say.
But that's months later.
Yeah. I mean, granted, they did it, but with regard, I want to go back to your Crater event thing. Mm-hmm. The reason why is that there's still a lot of people like me that are not following this. I mean, the NBA was already dealing with the crisis of young fans just following players anyways. Mm-hmm. Now you have this added, like, my family, they're not online. They don't watch Mavericks games anymore. Yeah. And I talk to my dad, and he's kind of like, whatever. Like, passion is not there. And maybe with the winning, it'll come back. But there's, the rebuild is like, has to be thought of as like a 5 to 10 year plan, basically. And so what happens between now and then? That's why I'm like, the seeds have been laid for a Crater event, and it would not shock me if Dallas basketball never is the same again. Like just simply because of this one thing. And also I'll be curious to see what kind of presence Cooper's going to be in Dallas, because I was texting somebody that this is the first time I've said this out loud publicly. Is he likable? Like he has like no personality whatsoever. And you go from Dirk and Luka, these like super charming, happy, like fun guys, and you have this guy who looks like a robot with a goatee. And I was telling somebody, I was like, I'll be interested to see if he can like truly win fans over in the same kind of way. Like I again, Cooper Flagg's mom too. I don't know if y'all have seen her online. She's been online.
It's a little. Let's say, pump your brakes, ma'am. You know what I thought about with the Patrick Dumont letter?
Yeah,
it's the weirdest thing. I read it, and then he ends it "Go Mavs," and I said, he didn't go MMFFL or whatever MFFL.
Yeah,
which I've been so accustomed to. Whenever there's Mavs communications, particularly directly to the fans, they go #MFFL, and he goes "Go Mavs," and I was like, is that because is that a on purpose thing, like, hey, that's the old, now we're new, or is it? I'm clueless. I don't know any of your jargon or your culture, and so I'm like, go Mavs.
Well, I mean, they hired the communications person the day before.
Yeah,
she doesn't know.
Maybe
that was the one relief, because I looked in. I immediately was like, who is this person? Because they had been bringing in some consultant, some communication consultants from like New York and other places like that. And I was kind of thinking like, just hire someone in Dallas. Like Dallas is a big city. Somebody can do the freaking job, and they could understand it. But she is a Dallas person. I don't know why and maybe it is intentional. I hadn't thought about that. I mean, that's a good call out.
I mean,
what's the new chant? We had Fire Nico we had a great run. It was an incredible chant. Everybody was on board. What's the new one?
No more chants. I think we're done with chants. I mean,
silence.
I mean,
if he had resigned, I think it would be thank you, Nico.
Yeah. I mean,
but
he
didn't resign.
The Lakers fans have to chant it. They have to chant thank you, Nico. More.
Yeah. That's my theory. That's my theory.
That the first game that Dallas went to LA, there was loud thank you, Nico chants, which is great.
If we see Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison hanging out, I think it's coming up here, right? November 29th. What is the date when Dallas goes to LA for the?
Oh, you got Nico sitting courtside
with Rob
with Pelinka.
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something?
Stay so far away if I were him, but knowing him, he's probably not.
Well, all right. I thought this was a delicious report from Mark Stein, where he reported that the Mavericks had set up an escape hatch staircase for Nico Harrison. Did you guys see this?
Have you seen it? I've seen the actual staircase. And my thing is like, you know what you could do that's easier than that? Don't fucking sit in the stands.
Well, it became a thing. It became a real thing. I mean, I'm with you. I think I would have just found a box or something and just sat.
Or stand in the tunnel or whatever.
It became a story that he's no longer sitting in seats. And I think, he's probably online, sees it, and then is like, well, I'm going to do that anyways. I'll say this for the staircase, because the Thunder have a very similar setup. It's pretty inconvenient, and if I was a GM, I'd have the staircase, regardless of the fans hated me or not. It's like,
but if you didn't have it originally,
I watched Sam Presti have to do this insane loop to go from his seat down to the, and I'm like, that staircase, I would keep it. Whoever the next GM, I'd be like, keep the staircase. That's convenient.
I'm very anti-GMs. I'm gonna go right to the bathroom. Why stop there? Let's have a stripper pole. Like it just slide down right into the locker
fireman
room.
pole. Okay,
that'd be a fireman pole. I don't think that'd be a stripper pole, but
it's the whole idea. No, okay, yeah. I try to think of people who to take over, and the nostalgia one was Dirk and Steve Nash. Just like the Avengers are back and turn the page. There's a lot of Rick Welts. I mean, I don't know if you can help me out here.
So a lot of people get confused. Rick has never done basketball ops in his career. He's always been a business side, marketing side guy. He's the person who invented All-Star Weekend. He was influential in the creation of the Dream Team. Again, if you look at him, you're like, really? Because he doesn't look as old as he is. But he's not a basketball guy, and he's the first one to tell you that. No, the most interesting theory is the one
he
Jason
also has no connection to Mavs fans. That would not do anything. Like Mavs fans don't care about him.
Well, the Mark Cuban thing is interesting, right? Because it satisfies so many things. If you're Dumont, it's like, how do I win people back? Let's bring this character who people feel very fondly about. But if you're Mark Cuban, it's the ultimate white knight. I come riding in on my horse, and I save you guys from this damnation, which, by the way, is partially my fault because I hired the motherfucker to begin with.
And he sold the team to the Dumonts.
Like, selling the team is selling the team, and he'll still tell you that, like, oh, I thought I was still going to run it. I don't know how that works, but I'm still confused, like, why Mark hired Nico. Because from what I know about Mark is like he's very much like Jason said, like, hey, you're welcome, right? So that means you need someone who's like grinder. Like nose to the grindstone, working and doesn't want credit. You know, like ironically, someone like Matt Riccardi, who's like, you know, worked his way up from a video intern or whatever in Brooklyn to be here. Like he needed someone like that. He didn't need another like flashy, I know everybody guy like Nico.
Yeah, but he needed somebody to close the door. I mean, you've seen some of the Mavs pitches to players in the past, and they've been really bad. And so my theory: if you meet Nico, he's a soft-spoken guy. He's not a big personality, despite sort of what he seems to be. But like in terms of in person, he's not like any sort of dominating figure. So, you know, it maybe Mark would view it as like this is the key that I need to really unlock my relationships with players. I'm getting older. I'm not able to party with them as much. And I don't know, maybe it's something like that.
That was the secret sauce all along.
I mean, that's how
I got.
You remember the Taylor Parsons?
Taylor Parsons,
yeah.
Like they're in the nightclub and he's
cool. Yeah,
so cool.
Good times. Oh, what a day.
Jason Gallagher, 342 Productions, Mind the Game.
Yeah.
And local TV superstar. Thanks for joining us, man. Anything you want to promote on your way out?
When is this coming out?
Today.
Okay. Next Tuesday is our part 2 episode with Stephen Curry, and it's on Mind the Game, and it's really good. And shout out the Warriors fans that keep accusing us of accusing LeBron of poisoning Steph. I don't know if y'all have seen this. It's been.
Oh, this is the ultimate conspiracy theory. This is it. This is the apex.
There's a video edited where it's just like close-up shots of the wine glass, LeBron smiling, Steph being like,
you mean literally poisoning him?
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of Warriors fans that are like,
oh, that's why
Joffrey style. Oh man.
I mean, Jason, sounds like you need to get a taster on the set of Mind the Game.
I've never tasted the daggum wine. That's for sure.
So part 2 is coming out next week.
Part 2 is coming out next week. It's really, really good. It's awesome that they sat down and did this. So cool stuff. So if you're into that, if you liked 1, 2 is better. So there you go.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason.
I would say that about first round picks when you trade for Luka. 1 is good, but 2 is better, but they didn't get that on the
3
trade.
is better than 2 also.
Or
Yeah.
what you
4 is
got
better
back
than 2.
for Luka and Jalen Brunson. I would have loved two picks
Wow.
between the two of them. Yeah. All right. See you, boys.